All right, friends, welcome into Amanda's Favorites. We are going to go over the Powersheets launch 2025. I have their Powersheets for 2025, their season by season daily planner for 2025, as well as some accessories that are not on screen right now. We're going to go over all those. If you haven't seen a Powersheets from front to back, it is an intentional goal planner. It's not an agenda at all. It doesn't have a weekly layout. It doesn't have a daily layout. So it is not your planner. It is your goal planning for the whole year. And this year they have brought back all the color. So they had some years where they were a little bit more subdued, I would say. They listened though. People spoke out. They wanted the colors back. So they are back with all the colors. I picked this floral cover this year because the past couple years I picked the linen covers that were just a plain color. And I loved those, but I was like, I haven't done floral in a couple of years. So let's do that. I love the rounded corners on everything from Cultivated on their planners and their Powersheets because you guys know I'm very tactile. It matters to me how my planners feel in hand, and these feel so nice in hand. It's a smooth cover, coated but not slick. To protect the cover, you have a gold coil here and the back, just the little Cultivate What Matters emblem, and then the big Cultivate What Matters 2025 Powersheets Goal Planner on the front. I have used the Powersheets Goal Planner for about 2.5 years total, and I have way back videos about that on my channel. I did not use them last year. Who knows what this next year will bring? Whenever I share the review, I get really excited about them and I want to use them again. So I influence myself. Let's jump in here, and do not forget I have a 10% off code always with Cultivate What Matters. You can use it on every single purchase. It's Amanda's Favorites, but you have to remember to type it in at checkout. And I have an affiliate link down there that you can shop through, which supports my channel more than you know. Your Powersheets come with a beautiful sticker sheet, some flowers, some flags, some gold hearts in there. I like how their inside end pages coordinate with the covers, but also give you some beauty on the inside, because when you're looking at your planner folded over, you're seeing the edge of your inside pages, depending on which side your tab's on as to how much of the edge you are seeing. But as you can see, all the color was brought back in this year. I think they might have one option, which is a little bit more neutral inside. I'm not positive on that because we only got to see little tiny pictures so far, but all those details are going to be up on their site. They're just not up on their site right now as I'm doing this review. You get a 2025 at a glance calendar and the holidays on the back. I really actually like this. If you just need like a card to mark like days off work or days off school or your cycles or anything, this is a really nice card to have. I actually use mine every year. And then your word of the year card. I love that they still give these out. I wouldn't say that my word of the year has an extreme profound effect on me every year. It kind of really depends on the year. Some years, like the year of my word gratitude, I really took into that word and did many things to expand my gratitude and give myself gratitude challenges and things like that. And it really did change me in some ways. Other years, I really don't focus on my word enough, but I still like to have the word of the year card. Fill in your name here. Do not be afraid. And then open the beautiful pages. Your fresh start begins here. Uncover what matters, break it down, and live it out. If you have never bought a intentional goal planner just for setting goals, this is something different. It really digs deep. I would say every time I've done Powersheets, it actually brings out some goal or some project or something I want to focus on or work on that I actually wasn't really thinking about. What I call their prep section at the front, their prep section is 55 pages. And it really is a deep dig into your life, into your mindset, and into what really matters to you right now and what you want to work on. We're going to go through some of these pages, and a lot of them are just your goal action plan pages, which are a 2-page spread, but they guide you step by step here. Also, when you buy Powersheets, you get access to their goal school. You have access to all those videos to also help you. A year of progress, not perfection, little by little adds up. And they really do walk you through this. There's a lot of guidance in here. I'm loving the florals on every page this year. And they're basically telling you the check-ins that you can do with yourself. And also they help guide you through. So it's like tending lists for every month, a quarterly refresh every quarter. And you can basically check this off like a board game. I think of the monthly calendars just like a board game of our life. Each day is a different square and you're making progress every day. And you never know what will come up, the unexpected. Okay, brainstorm your year ahead, come alive again. You have name what fires you up, learn from the past. So this is reflecting on things. And then you have your evaluation, where you're evaluating these life categories: community, family, finances, health and wellness, home and spaces, spiritual and personal growth, work and learning, and one for you to fill in. They give you a lot of guidance. You are not left alone to figure this out. Powersheets are really good about that. If it's your first time going through it, my recommendation is to actually read through this entire prep section before you start filling anything out. Just read it like a book. That way it will make sense to you. Then when you go through it, you'll be picturing in your mind kind of where they're leading you and where you're going. Cultivate your mindset, upgrade your mindset, name what matters, make decisions, what you're saying yes to, what you're saying no to. My most purposeful year. You're going to fill that out, choose your focus. And like they have some things for you to scan in here for like more habit resources. Brainstorm your goals in each category. After all that work, you're going to do your goal brainstorming, set goals that stick. So they teach you those steps of goal making, and they're giving you an example of how to break down that goal. Then you have your yearly goals. You can do them by a colored category. That's why they have your little flags there, or you don't have to use that color coding. It's time to bloom where you're planted. How do you grow a garden? You tend to it little by little. The same thing with your goals. So every goal in here has this 2-page spread, and you have enough pages for up to 8 goals to map these out to start with. Of course, you're going to have a quarterly refresh and things can change, but here are how you map out your goals. What I want, write your yearly goal. Why are you motivated to achieve it? What I can do, resources needed for it. What area is it in of your life? What does success look like for this goal at the end of 2025? What might get in the way of you making progress on this goal? How will you have fun with this goal along the way? And this goal does it include habits? Finish lines are a big dream, and they have already talked to you about that throughout the prep pages, because those are kind of the 3 different types of goals that they talk about. What will I do? Well, this page is really yours to use to take notes and brainstorm, or think of habits that go along with this goal, action steps, or you can customize it with one of their wildcard pages. Wildcard pages are things you can buy in a packet from them. There are these different pages, or you can print them out for free if you go to cultivatewhatmatters.com. And you could put a wildcard page on here that, let's say this goal is like cleaning out your whole house. Well, like they have pages that are like dedicated to that with checkoffs on there. And they have other pages that are dedicated to different things. So if you didn't want this seasonal map to map it out, you could definitely washi tape in a wildcard page here. And then what's next? All good things start with one small step. My first step, and when. And so you have those exact same pages for up to 8 goals. That does not mean you have to set 8 goals. When I used Powersheets, I never once personally had 8 yearly goals, but they just want to give you enough pages for that option if you do want that. I love the colored dot grid pages on the back here for notes. To everything there is a season. I personally have that as a personal mantra. Pace yourself for success. So some really good guidance here. Then you're thinking about the year in seasons. So January, February, March, April, May, June, in your quarters, but I love the way they call them seasons. You're breaking things down there. Make it easy to remember. This is where you're brainstorming about your word of the year, and then you get to record your word of the year here and why I chose this word. And this page is perforated for if you would like to tear it out and hang it up. And then the back is a pink dot grid. Visualize what's ahead so you can sketch, collage, paint, sticker, write words here, a mind map or a word web if that works more for your brain. So this is a vision board, because they say if you can see it clearly, it will be easier to find your way. Here is how to make a tending list. I love the tending list in Powersheets. I used to say that was honestly my favorite part of Powersheets because it was like the gold for me every month. I really loved the tending list. And so they talk about that here. Review your goals, sort your action steps, and simplify and focus. And here are 3 powerful reminders for tending lists. You don't need to fill in every line. I never did. The goal isn't a perfectly checked off list. Mine never was. And put your tending list somewhere that you'll see it every day. Sometimes I tore out my tending list. We'll get to the tending list. If you're new here, you're saying, Amanda, what is a tending list? I'm about to show you. You get one for every month. We'll talk about it. Another color dot grid, and one more word about perfection. Okay. So you can see it's almost like a whole, you're going through like a goal school here for 55 pages of working through this. And most people take much longer than a day to work through this, like breaking it up in small sections, but you could just take an entire day off and really make it a special day that you are working through that. Every single one of their tabbed pages is extra thick cardstock. It is like that glossy cardstock, so you're not going to want to write on it, but it has a quote. All good things start with one step, and everyone is a beautiful, bright color. Your colors are repeated in the second 6 months of the year. Your tabs are laminated with gold foiling. You will not have any problems with those. And some beautiful like foliage coming in on the back. So this is what you get every month. Now that you are done with your prep pages up front, you're going to go into the monthlies. And the monthly is really not overwhelming. It's just a couple of pages every month. So you're going to think about that month, important to-dos, goals to make progress on, what is on your calendar, what is on your mind. And then you're going to do a cultivated life evaluation check-in. Assign each area of your life a number between 1 and 10 for the past month. This will help you celebrate progress and notice areas for extra nourishment. So right here, just a quick little cultivated evaluation check-in. Now, I talked about how this was not a planner. You don't have weekly pages. It's not an agenda, but they do give you a monthly layout, and that is just for being able to plan your goals out. Some people use this, some people don't. So don't feel forced to use this if it doesn't work with you. You don't have to fill out an extra monthly layout, but this is for maybe planning when you're going to work on certain goals, or if you're implementing new habits, what is the new habit you're focusing on that month? You know, this could also just be for recording one little event every day or a daily gratitude if you're not using it for the goal planning. Then you have a dot grid section over here. It's a typical Sunday start. So it's a really nice monthly layout to utilize for whatever you need. Okay, this is not in every single month, but this is just here starting you out in January. Believe in the little by little progress. So just some more guidance, and then a routines reset to think about your morning routine, your evening routine, your weekend reset routine, and any other routines that you need to address. Decision fatigue is the enemy of good decisions. I agree with that. Like once your brain is tired, you can't make good decisions generally. And so having routines is really key. So there's a routines reset and a weekly rhythms ideas for the season. So for this season, the first quarter, they give you a weekly layout spread and you're thinking about where you want to fit things in your life, just so you can brainstorm your habits and your rhythms that are going to help you live out your goals. And you can put those down on paper and see when they're going to fit in. I did my pen test here. Powersheets have always had really nice 80-pound paper. It's very thick. The paper this year has, I would say, a little bit of tooth to it. It's not like extra smooth paper, but it's not extreme tooth. And it does just feel really nice. You can see I wrote all over the back of this page. You can barely even see that it's written on. I even used a fountain pen. I've been asked to please do a fountain pen in every single pen test. And I'm really going to try to remember. I got this platinum preppy fountain pen from Jet Pens, and I'm going to try to use it on every single pen test. So really dark mild liner and Erin Condren dual tip markers, Papermate flares, dark pens, very inky pens, and their 80-pound paper handles it absolutely beautifully. Now this you have every single month. Break it down. You take your goals that you're working on and what are your action steps for that month. So you can use these to break down your monthly goals or items from your tending list, which we will talk about next. Or you can use it as kind of a master to-do list. As they say, there's no wrong way to use this page. And I always say that about planners. Use it how it serves you best. Your planner is a tool for you. It's here to serve you. And you can even change it up how you use it every single month because it might change how you need it. Here is your tending list. This is made perforated. So if you would like to tear it out and keep it in your planner, or you'd like to tear it out and keep it in a clipboard up in your office, or if you want to tape it to the fridge or the mirror in your bathroom, wherever you're going to see it, hopefully at least every week, do a check-in with it, but possibly even every day if you're using the daily tracker in here for things. check in with your tending list. Every month, you're going to fill this out with encouraging words, a priority for the month, and then you're going to think of your monthly action items that you want to make progress on. You do not have to fill up every line. Then weekly action items. These can be habits or rhythms, right? It can even be changing your sheets or mowing your lawn. These are daily action items. So habits you want to instill every single day. This could be drinking your water. This could be taking your walk. This can be hugging your kids. Whatever habits, just remember, every line doesn't need to be filled out. And in fact, you might gain even more from it if you don't try to have every line filled out. That's just my little tip. Then you have a month in review at the end of every month. Reflection reaps rewards, and you have favorite memories. You have action steps you're proud of, gratitude, goals that are growing well, what's not working, what I read or listened to, and a song on repeat. I love that there's even color around each one of these boxes. There is color all throughout here. Then you go into your next month. Here's the flow of it. You have your monthly reset. This was the same thing in January. You have your monthly layout. Then you have your break it down page. We talked about all the different ways you could use that. And then you have your tending list for the month. Lots of people like to make their tending list colorful or throw some stickers on there, even the stickers that came with your planner, or some washi tape. And then you have your month in the review. So that is the flow of every single month. But then at the end of every quarter, or every season as they call it, you get a seasonal refresh. So at the end of March, you have this that says your refresh is here. Because they say your power sheets connect the power of big picture vision with the potency of shorter windows for progress. Each quarter, you'll check in on that vision, break through what's holding you back, and learn something new that will keep you moving forward. It's time for your first one. Let's go. So as I told you, they guide you through every single step in here. Here's your quarterly refresh, your first one. They give you some guidance, and you're going to go through each one of those life categories here. And you're going to put your previous life evaluation score and where you think you are now in that category, and write down a few thoughts on why you chose each number. Then you can tell what areas need new attention or to be cultivated in different ways. Keep moving forward. Where have you seen the most growth in your yearly goals this season, and which yearly goals need more nourishment? And they give you some good examples there too, and a little bit of room to workshop that. So then you're going to write down your refreshed goals. Some of you, your goals might have stayed just the same. You might say, nope, I still want to work on the same goals. But many times every quarter, my goals change a little bit. Things change and you're like, that one's not as important to me, or I haven't had any time to focus on that. And I'm really not going to in this quarter either. And so you change those goals up. Plan for the season ahead. This is where you can put the goals you're focusing on, and they still give you enough slots for up to 8 goals here, but you're refreshing them for the next quarter. And you're thinking, what is your goal and what are the next action steps that you are taking on this quarter? I do find listing out action steps to be really helpful, even with simple things. Like I will tell you this example. I was going to patch a hole that we got moving a bookshelf into my son's room. And that hole has now been there for a year and I have never patched it because this is what happens. All I did was write on my goals, patch the hole in his room, but I didn't break that down into action steps and then put those action steps in my plan. And first I actually needed to find the patch stuff for the wall and I needed to go patch it. And then I needed to let that dry for 24 hours. So that would be step 1. Then I needed to sand that patch down. Then I needed to wipe all that off the wall and let it completely dry. Then I needed to find my paint and remix it. And so that would probably be 3 different days of 3 different steps. And by just writing it as one big goal and sticking it in my planner for the month, that did not work for me. If I would have written the first action step, it seems so much more manageable and like, okay, I can actually do that first step. I'm going to conquer that first step. And that is why breaking down goals or projects are so valuable to us because we feel like we can then handle them. We are breaking them down into chunks that actually fit in our day. And our mind doesn't then have to take that big project and break it down. We have done it, we have planned it, and we have put it in our planner that way. Then you do another routines reset with your seasonal refresh here, a dot grid notes page for you, and a weekly rhythms reset also. So with every seasonal refresh, you get all these new things to map out your new season. a colorful dot grid page, and then you go into April feeling fresh and new, and look at these beautiful colors. And that is the flow of your whole planner. And after every quarter, you're going to have that same quarterly refresh. So at the end of June, you have your next quarterly refresh. Then at the end of September, another quarterly refresh. And at the end of your year, when we make it to the end of December 2025, you guys, we have a 2025 year in review. You can, of course, fill this out as you're going through the year. And these are some favorite memories from the year, people you're grateful for. And then you have a couple of dot grid notes pages back here, 3 to be exact. You did it, you guys. You did your whole Powersheets. Honestly, if you work through Powersheets for a year, you will feel really proud of yourself for sticking through it, and you will be able to look back and see all the things that you've accomplished. So that wraps up our Intentional Goal Planner Powersheets review here for 2025. As you can see, it is not a huge book. It's pretty small as in thickness, but holds a lot in there for the whole year. Your cover is about 10.5 by 7.75. Your pages are 7 by 10. So it's just a little bit bigger than a 7 by 9 planner. And compared to your daily planner, it is a lot thinner. Now we are going to jump into the daily planner and then go over the accessories really quickly. The Powersheets, I feel like, is really the star of the show here. So we spent the bulk of our time on Powersheets. I already have up a previous review of the season by season daily planner. They have in previous years done an academic year and a calendar year. So this is their calendar year, but this is the first time I'm ever seeing colored tabs on it. I really love that. And it's the same thing. It's repeated every 6 months, but just bringing a lot more color into your planner. Same thing with the inside pages here. Beautiful, fun stickers that are different from Powersheets in here, and some washi strips. And your same 2025 at a glance card with your holidays on the back. You have a ruler that comes with this planner and your nameplate page. I also showcased this in a video where I compared 11 daily planners together just recently. We'll pop that video down in the description if you're interested in that. So if you're looking for a daily planner and you want to see it besides some other ones, what you can fit on a page, you might like that. This is a beautiful gold foiling, even on your front nameplate page. The season ahead, thinking about planting good goals. So even if you're not purchasing their goal planner, this planner has several items in it which are going to be very helpful for goal planning for you. Weekly rhythm ideas for the season, the same sheet that you get in your Powersheets. Also, this is just a really great companion if you're using Powersheets. January, your page is the same thickness as the whole planner, but it has a laminated tab on it, and I've never had any issues with these pages. Your daily planner has 70-pound paper instead of 80-pound like the Powersheets because it's a much thicker planner. I will double check and make sure that's the same for this year since these aren't listed up there yet, but that's always how it's been in the past, and it feels like that to me. I have done a pen test page in here for you too. On that monthly layout, you have a dot grid page with a little floral on there. You have your monthly layout, typical Sunday start dot grid over here, and a little quote down there, and a question up here. How will you rest well this month? And every month asks you a different question up here and has a little different quote down there. Every page in your daily planner is numbered in case you need to go back and index anything. And every week in your daily planner, you get a weekly refresh to think about what's ahead, goals to focus on, and habits to tend to. So a weekly habit tracker for up to 5 habits and a what matters most this week. Then you have your daily page, which is 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. with light gray lines for your half-hour time slots. And you have, if I counted correctly, you have 12 tick-off boxes. You have a big priority box. And then you have a check-off every day of 10 to my goals, express gratitude, and encourage someone. So those little things to think of every day and check in tonight. And then a today's win down here. I really like those tiny little check-in reminders. That's all of what Cultivate the company is about and cultivate what matters. And so those little reminders are really the special things about their planner. You have the day up here really big and the date in bold, and that is the flow of your planner. We will come back to the pen test, but I want to show you the weekends. The weekends are different. They are half pages done horizontally with just lines in there. So horizontal lines, you could write all the way across, or you could use the break in the lines for to lists or your timed appointments and your to-dos. And then you have a what I'm grateful for this week. So that's pretty fun to look at the end of the year if you collected all those what I'm grateful for every week. And then you go into your weekly refresh for the next week. It is dated. And then you go into your weekly pages. So really simple weekly pages, but lined out well for you to be able to do time blocking or put in all your appointments, have room for your to-dos. And you do have a small today section here up top, which breaks it down into 3 lines, 4 lines if you count the bottom line. So really 4 lines that you could put anything up here. This could be what your focus is for the day. You already have a priority box here though. This could be something you don't want to forget today, or this could be a gratitude, or it could be the weather for the day or your workout for the day. You do have a little space up here also to put something every day if you wanted the weather or your dinner for the day, so you can decide how to use that. Let's go back to the pen test before I forget about that. I used all the dark inky pens and the fountain pens. And once again, this is 70-pound paper instead of the 80-pound in Powersheets. You can see a tiny bit of ghosting, but nothing big. The fountain pen is the thing which you can see probably the very most on there, especially since it was coming out very, very inky at that moment. But I know most people who are writing in this planner are probably not writing with fountain pens. I love all the colored tabs this year. I love the rounded corners. Love those changes. And this is a change too. I know that from last year. So that is the flow of this planner. Now, here's what's pretty fun and different about the Cultivate What Matters daily planner is you have a little check-in refresh every season, every 90 days, celebrating 90 days. Where have you seen the most growth this season? What goals are growing well? What needs more nourishment in your life? What goals might need a new approach? And then a whole dot grid notes page too, to work or mind map things out. Then talk about planting good goals about 90 days from today. What do you want to work on in this next season, April through June? And then once again, your weekly rhythm ideas for the season. So you get this quarterly little refresh in here every season, every quarter. All right, at the end of this daily planner, you have wins this year. So for every month, I would fill these out as the months go on. I love to record wins and look back on them. That little bit of reflection of looking back on them and that motivation of recording wins is something that's very helpful to me. Especially think about small wins, not just big ones, and record them as the months go on so you don't forget them. And then you have just a couple of dot grids, note pages, 6 dot grid note pages back here with a little flower on the right side. Total page number is 435 pages in this, you guys. And you end with a little to everything. There is a season page, and you'll be starting a whole new year and a whole new season. So that is your season by season daily planner. Now, these are some fun little snap-in paper packs, which I have never seen or used from Cultivate What Matters before, but they are to be able to snap into any of their planners or their goal planner, because they have a little tab up here so you can turn to it easily. If you just need an extra notes page or meal planning, whatever you need, these edges are very tough lamination. So that is your snap in paper pack dot grid. I guess I'm not fitting it in right. All right, guys, I would love for anyone to chime in here who has used these or knows anything about them, because when I put my tab up here, then they don't seem to line in upright with the Powersheets or with the daily goal planner. So I'm wondering about that, about what I am doing wrong here with these, because I love this product. So if anybody has anything, chime in about those and help us out. Let's jump into the accessories. All right, I was sent this amazing, huge, massive pack. I mean, it looks like about 14 inches probably by about 10 and a half. And it would definitely fit your Powersheets in here with plenty of room to spare. Yeah, Powersheets fit great in there without them being hard to get in or get out. It has texture, it has gold foiling, and then I really do like their hardware and the hot pink color inside. And your Powersheets fit really well. You could also fit a pen pouch in there with them. Here's the difference between the pen pouch on the big pouch, which is a really big difference. You could, of course, fit the daily planner in here too, because it's ample room for the extra fat size of the daily. So if you want something to protect your planner when traveling or in and out of your bag, this is a really tough bag here. It would definitely do it. And the planners go in and out easily. They're not like a tight fit, which I like. And look at this beautiful green color with like the dark evergreen color on there. Their pulls are grosgrain ribbon with the gold. And then inside is this blue. It pulls out so you can dump out crumbs or anything you get in there, but it is a cloth material, and their pouches are really tough and thick on the outside and textured. I really like their pouches. And of course, will fit amazingly around the Powersheets or the daily planner, whichever one you want, but they even fit around the bigger Powersheets or their weekly planner really well to be able to carry your pens with you. They can also go around the whole book to be able to keep your book shut like a band. I love that pen pouch. All right, last items up here. This is a Cultivated Life Evaluation Guide. Basically, this is a companion to your Powersheets. And it's giving you a little bit more to dig deeper in here into each area of your life. So like community, each section is a different color. Family is pink, health and wellness is green, and then work and learning. So it's digging into all of those life sections. And you're supposed to keep this near your Powersheets and do a check-in here every month and then every quarter, and you're adding up your scores. So if you're someone who really likes to go through an evaluation and get a score in each area of your life based on all these different criteria, they do a check-in every single month. And then, like I said, with every single quarterly refresh, and then you can come up with an average there of that. So this little booklet lasts you a year and just lives with your Powersheets and helps give you a little bit more in-depth life evaluation than you are doing in the Powersheets. And there's a whole how to use this booklet here. Use it along your Powersheets, how to understand the rating system and find your averages. And they say skip statements as needed. If a statement isn't relevant to your season, skip it. If your numbers are lower, it's okay. It's just a picture of where you are in your life right now. And they just go on and give you a little bit more guidance. And a couple of questions to start out your book before you jump into the first community section. Each page is also numbered and gives you guidance at the beginning of every section. So that is your Cultivated Life Evaluation Guide. These are the 2 washi packs. They actually call them tending tapes. Each one comes with 4 standard rolls and 2 thin rolls. And I think one is called like a more neutral, and this is like the more neutral. And this one says keep growing with their little leaf emblem. You have their little cute leaf emblem on a white and gold foiling. Purpose over perfect. Purpose over perfect. Yes. Okay, I'm so used to progress over perfection that was not in my mind. They're little gold leaves, and then the tiny thin ones say, let's do this on the green, and the little leaf emblem on the pink. This is the colorful pack, which I'm always drawn to, but I like both packs. Keep growing, that's that one. You have the beautiful new floral. You have Goal Get 'em with the leaf on the pretty green. I love this one. Look at this colored leaf on white. Let's see if we can get this going. All right, there's their little leaf emblem on white. I love that one. I don't know why I'm so attracted to that cute thing. I also love this little stripe one on the thin, and then just the purple. So those are their 2 tending tape packages that are available this year with launch. All right, guys, that wraps us up. Thanks for sticking with me. I'd love to hear all your thoughts down below if you're a previous Powersheets user or if you're new to Powersheets. I just always love to hear your thoughts on planners and goal planners in general, if you've used a dedicated intentional goal planner before. So chime in down below in the comments if you are making a purchase. Do not forget to use my code Amanda's Favorites for 10% off all year long on every purchase from Cultivate What Matters, and my affiliate link down there. Have a beautiful week and take care of yourselves so you can take care of others. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.